kids want to rock, but maybe they don't want to roll on out to school. What do you do when a child just says, I'm not going? Dr. Alexandra Dassoon is here this morning to help us through that. I suppose there's a lot of kids out there, like my little brother in kindergarten. I loved school. He hated it. He used to jump the fence at recess and come home. It's not that unusual.
No, it's not that unusual. We do find that 2 to 5% of children have school refusal, which is an anxiety disorder in which a child refuses to attend school or stay in school. And it's problematic because it could result in educational problems or social problems if the child is able to not attend school for a prolonged period of time.
Well, now, what's actually going on when a child says they don't want to go? I mean, sometimes I would think that's just normal. I mean, home has been a very comfortable, safe, fun place with everything you need. Why go elsewhere?
Right. I mean, children sometimes don't like change, and if they've been off for the summer period and they're returning back to school, starting school can arouse feelings of anxiety or fear. It also could be relocation. If a child's moving from one place to another residence and they're having to start a new school, that could be problematic as well.
And that's frequently the case, I guess, at the beginning of the school year, where a family is, you know, we all try to time our moving to the school year so that the kids don't have the year interrupted, but now they're in a brand new place.
They're in a new place. They might have to make new friends. They could have concerns about educational problems, or if there's a student there that particularly doesn't like them or they're being bullied. Or they could have a separation anxiety from being away from their parent, and they might worry that something bad could happen to their parent if they're away from them.
So how does it usually manifest? I mean, I know every kid probably used the I have a stomach ache excuse at least once. But that might just be because they just, you know, didn't want to do homework that day or whatever.
Right. I mean, it could manifest physically, psychologically, or behaviorally. For physical symptoms, typical ones that a parent might hear is, I have a stomach ache, I have a headache, I have nausea, I have diarrhea. Psychological symptoms could be anxiety, fear, and then behavioral problems could be defiance, tantruming, inflexibility, avoidance, or isolation.
Isn't it funny, though, how usually by about lunchtime, when they're pretty sure they don't have to go to school now, all the symptoms disappear?
Right. It's amazing. If the parent lets the child stay home, the symptoms quickly disappear, only to reappear when they have to return to school the next day.
The following day. Okay. Well, so what do we do? Obviously, as parents, you know, just saying, come on, you know, get out there. There's nothing wrong with you. Get on the bus, or, you know, get out the door and go to school. That's not exactly the answer.
No, I mean, one, if this is problematic and it persists for longer than 4 weeks, then I think the child should be taken to a psychologist to receive a comprehensive mental evaluation to determine what are the reasons behind the school refusal. But there's a lot of different supports that you can implement, a parent can implement, to be able to help the child transition back to school. So that could be exposing them slowly, gradually over time, to let the child realize that there's nothing going to happen that's negative and that their fears are not, you know, substantial. In addition, you can talk to your kids about their fears and their feelings to help reduce them. You can also connect the children with other kids in the school to help develop a support system and with other adults. You can coordinate a meeting with the teachers and the school guidance counselor for additional support and direction as well.
Now, you know, with some parents, I think it's quite natural if you mention take them to a professional, there's an immediate reluctance and a recoil effect there because they think, ooh, you know, there's nothing wrong with my child, or I don't want there to be anything wrong with my child. I don't want there to be anything wrong with my parenting. That's not what you're saying.
No, absolutely not. I mean, anxiety can be a normal thing, but if it persists and it's problematic and it's disruptive to a child's ability to function and attend school, then that's going to be, you know, something that a parent doesn't want to have to deal with, because it could cause educational and social problems later on. And what I really want to emphasize for your viewers is that if a child is allowed to stay home, it's going to reinforce the anxiety, and it's the worst thing a parent can do.
It doesn't make it better, it makes it worse?
It makes it worse, because it's reinforcing the fear.
So as mom is sitting there watching this with her child right now that didn't go to school, we might have to speak in code so the child doesn't know what we're doing. But There really is nothing long-term to worry about here as long as you address the issue, is there?
Well, it could be. I mean, if the child continues to be allowed to miss school, then there could be...
But if you address the issue, I'm
If
saying.
you address
Yeah.
the issue right away, there shouldn't be any problems. I mean, it could be taken care of very easily.
And that's maybe we'll leave it on that note this morning, is it doesn't have to be a big, long, drawn-out process. This isn't, on the couch for the next 5 years trying to figure out what's going on. It can be very simple sometimes.
Very simple. I mean, even implementing some simple relaxation techniques such as breathing or being able to think positive thoughts can be very helpful. And connecting the kids, they need a support system.
Absolutely, like all of us do.
Right.
Okay. Doctor, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good tips. All right. You just go to san diego6.com if you'd like more information on that.